Mr. Drancy, I believe.
Well, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is all mine, I'm sure. Please take a seat. Well, Mr. Drancy, I've reviewed your application, and I must say I find myself at quite the loss. Your application is vague in the extremity, Mr. Drancy. Several key places there's information missing. And I'm still not exactly sure the purpose you intend to use this money.
Well, let me stop you there, Mrs.
Miss Carston, Mr. Drancy.
Well, let me stop you there, Miss Carson. I'm what I like to refer to as an entrepreneur of the old establishment. I'm the product of a time that if you had an idea to give to somebody, you went mano to mano with them, so to speak. You showed, not told, showed them your idea. Now, I'm of the belief when one has an idea, nay, an opportunity, the caliber that I'm currently in possession of, paltry words on a scrap of paper will not do it justice.
Well, that's all very well and good, Mr. Drancy, but I still have a number of reservations that I'd been clearing up before I could consent to such a loan.
Well, given the nature of this here once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I felt it would be best if we kept the paperwork to a minimum.
I'm not too sure I understand what you're trying to say, Mr. Drancy.
Well, allow me to be blunt with you, miss, if I may. This venture that I'm currently in the enviable position of presenting to you, well, it ain't exactly what you might call legal, if you know what I mean.
Oh, Mr. Drancy, let me in turn be blunt with you. I could never...
Now, missy, I know you might have your misgivings, but I implore you to first view my product before you cast your judgment. I assure you will not regret it.
No, Mr. Drancy, I must first insist that you desist
Taurus!
from referring to me.
Come here, in here, my boy.
This is your product.
Sure is, ma'am.
Pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
Mr. Drancy, if this is some sort of prank...
I can assure you it is not a prank, and it's certainly not a waste of time. Why, Taurus here is a lean, mean, money-making machine. I tell you what.
Damn straight.
Well, would you care to tell me why...
Now, Miss Carson, I'm sorry. Elizabeth? You mind me calling you Elizabeth?
I mind you calling me Elizabeth.
Now, Elizabeth, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. My grandpappy always said, study the lay of the land carefully before putting your seeds out the pasture. You know what I mean? Now, me and Taurus here are in what I like to describe as the hospitality industry.
The hospitality industry?
Yes, ma'am.
Whoa, boy, whoa, let me do the talk around here. I don't want you to overexert yourself. Apologies, ma'am, the boy sure does get excited when he's talking about the business.
I sure do.
As I was saying, Taurus here sees to a variety of ladies in our society who, for one reason or another, find themselves alone during the night.
All the day.
All the day, right you are, my boy, right you are. Now, Taurus sees that these ladies are provided with the pleasures of companionship of a handsome gentleman for a nominal rate.
Companionship?
Well, that's right, Miss Carson. The kind of companionship that only a man can give to a woman.
So he's a whore?
Well, that's one way to put it, yes, but I mean...
It's the only way to put it, Mr. Drancy. He has sex for money. He's the definition of a whore.
Now, Miss Carson, I respectfully request that you fulfill your obligation and due diligence and wait for all the facts to come in. Now, when it comes to his trade, nay, his art, well, let us call it what it is. Taurus here is nothing short of a protege. A protege! He is what we call in the business the full package. He has the looks, the skills. Between you and me, he is hung like a
I'm not capabilities, Mr. Drancy, but rather the wisdom of...
Taurus, take off your shirt and show the lady what I'm trying to convey.
What do you think you are doing?
I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Because it should be what you're thinking too. Taurus here is a genuine, bona fide example of the pinnacle of the male form. With your money and mine, Your money my management backing him up, I can personally guarantee or double on any investment you seem to bestow upon us today.
You're willing to personally guarantee such a term?
Well, between you and me, Miss Carson, I'm willing to personally guarantee just about anything.
I must declare myself interested. A chorus, is it? Put on your shirt.
Any day, boy.
Now sit down. How can you guarantee that there's a market for his services? I'm sure there's many gentlemen plying at this trade if it's so profitable.
Now that is where you are wrong, Miss Carson. That is where you are prima facie wrong. If you excuse my Italian. Now I have undergone an extensive market research campaign into this very subject, and I've discovered a large hole just waiting to be plugged. If you excuse my poor choice of words.
But of course, Mr. Jackson.
I'd like to prove my point mathematically if I may. Morris. This circuit here, this represents a number of men who have stated in a scientific survey that they have used the facilities of a professional in our area in some point in their past, right? And this circuit here represents the same numbers, but for the weaker sex. As you can see, there's quite a substantial differential between these two. And go! We have reached the inevitable conclusion that there is a large quantity of women out there who have yet to avail of our services, either due to ignorance or dissatisfaction with the current selection available to them. I mean, a large on-tap market is waiting to splurge on somebody who can care for their needs.
Mr. Jackson, before I entertain this notion any further, I just have one minor query.
And that would be?
Why is the term broads used to denote, as you referred to them, the weaker sex?
Well, you see, quite naturally, we assume to be a man here in our application today. In fact, maybe best if you run off there and grab your balls. I feel that a man would be more receptive to the complexities of this here plan. It might go over your pretty little head.
Mr. Dratsy, my boss is also a woman.
Oh, really?
This sure is a strange bank.
There, my boy, I concur. Well, perhaps it's best if we press on as is, you know, these people get them fold and all that.
Which eloquently leads me on to my next point. What exactly is Mr. Dratsy's role in this business?
Well, it is to bring my intelligence and expertise on this here subject to the table.
I was talking to Taurus.
Well, he what the hell?
Mercy, may I please interject?
Can you not speak for yourself?
The boy doesn't have to speak for himself if he don't want to.
Very well, Mr. Dratsy. May I ask why you feel the need to be paid? Half of the profits if you do not help with any of the heavy lifting.
I am paid a reasonable cut based upon my expertise, my intelligence, my inter- and intra-organizational skills that I bring to this table.
Surely, Taurus, you could manage this operation all by yourself. From what I can tell, all Mr. Dratsy does is answer the phone and handle the money.
Well, I guess I could answer all the phones by myself.
May I have a private word with my business partner?
But of course, Mr. Dratsy.
the hell is going on? You said to be in and out of here in 5 minutes, no problems.
It's fine. It's all in control.
I'm getting all confused. She's talking about me working by myself and calling me a whore.
Well, you are a whore.
No, I am not. You said I was a handsome gentleman that provides a service to women in deep need of sexual gratification. You said I was a philanthropist.
You can be that in a whore, too.
Well, screw this, Frank. We don't need her or her money. What the fuck was that for? Jesus! Stop hitting me.
God damn it! We need this goddamn money!
We've got by this far and ourselves. Fuck, Frank, stop hitting me!
You talking back to me? Are you talking back to me? You know I hate it when you talk back to me. So use my fucking name around here.
Yes, Mr. Dressy.
You gotta have faith in me, eh? You gotta trust me like I trust you.
Yeah, you're right, boss. You're right.
Now listen here. I ain't gonna let her or anybody come between you and me.
You promise?
I promise. It's you and me against the world.
You and I.
That boy.
Thanks.
Now you let me deal with her.
All right.
Please, Thomas. Please. Don't make me hit you again. You know I hate it when I have to discipline you.
Yes, sir. Yes, boss.
Sure. Come on. Now, where were we?
Well, Mr. Dratsy, I can just see how inseparable you are from this operation.
Well, I'm glad to see you come around to our way of thinking.
I still have one point that I need clearing up for you, though.
That would be?
Why exactly do you need this money? From what I can see, your operation already seems quite self-sufficient.
Well, it is true we have gotten by thus far on our own, but we are looking to expand and diversify our operations, as well as upskill.
Upskill?
Well, you see, our client base is constantly evolving and adapting. We have to change with it to meet their results. You know, there are new toys to buy, new fetishes to fulfill.
Don't forget the costumes.
Lord almighty, how could I forget about the costumes? You know, when a new film or TV show comes out, the clientele do be hollering to bring the silver screen to life. I mean, it hasn't ever changed the world out there, Miss Carson.
Oh, then I have research I have to do. All the studying.
Studying?
Oh, yeah.
Well, one does not get to be a protege by sitting on one's ass. I mean, Paul's here is a member of the oldest profession in the world, and as a result, he has ingested the knowledge of those who come before him. I mean, I've seen this boy in the library for hours reading literature, erotica, documentaries.
So he sits around all day and watches pornography. Why on earth would you need money to fund such disgusting...
No, absolutely not. Pornography is fake. Just make-believe. It's not real. No feelings, no passions. Yeah, I mean, it has nothing to do with what I do. Absolute damn well nothing. You hear me? Nothing.
The boy is, at first, the pornographic arts. On account of it's not real. He believes it makes a mockery of his calling.
I see.
So, back on topic, we also believe that the operation might be well supplemented by the hiring of some muscle.
Muscle.
Well, you see, quite naturally being the brains of this here operation, and Paul has all the good looks we could ever need, what we could really do with is the hiring of a good, solid goon. You know, if we expand our operation in territories unknown and meet with some resistance. And then again, there are also the clientele who are unwilling to pay upon delivery of services.
So you want to hire someone to do your beatings for you?
Precisely. In fact, your bank doesn't know any good contractors they used in the past. You know, somebody give a good solid leg break on command.
We do not hire people to go and break our clients' legs when they cannot repay their loans, Mr. Dratsy.
And what do you do, pray tell?
Well, we evict them from their homes.
That's it. Awfully mean-spirited man.
I agree with you there, my boy. I mean, a man with a set of broken legs can at least have a roof over his head. A place to sleep and wake each day at noon. Damn. But to take a man's castle from underneath him. I must declare myself, Miss Carson, I'm frankly appalled at your bank's business procedures.
You're appalled. The very idea that you could come in here and demand a loan for an illegal activity is beyond me.
This is not going so well, boss.
I agree with you there. I suppose we better go to Plan B.
Plan B it is.
What's Plan B?
Say, these negotiations, they getting awfully heated. Why don't I take you to that broom closet yonder and help change your mind?
Excuse me?
And she's not getting. Take off your shirt again.
No, I...
Then get into that broom closet and let him bang you.
I do not want to be banged by him, as you so eloquently put it.
Fine, I'll do it then.
What?
What?
Now, I know it may not be a professional like Taurus here, and you're not my type, no offense, but I guarantee you.
What the hell do you think you're doing? This is my operation here.
What are you getting so prickly about? Does it matter who fucks her? Look, to be the gentleman here, and ask the lady to decide.
Which one of us do you want to take back to help change your mind?
That's it. I'm calling security.
Well, we will have to charge a group rating to get others involved.
I'm calling them to have you escorted off the premises.
Shit.
I don't think we're getting no money.
Of course you're not getting any money.
We were so close as well.
Excuse me. At what point did you think this was going well? Never in my right mind would I lend any money to two scumbags like yourselves. Now get out!
Oh, I see what's going on here. Don't think I don't. Yeah. When times are going good, you're willing to give money to any dog and pony show that walks through those doors. But when you got two, because you know that when you mess things up, you'll have good, honest businessmen like myself and Taurus here to bail you out. Then you have an old school entrepreneur like myself. He comes along, he's got a wish, a dream. He wants to fulfill the needs of men and women in this society. And you see that dream, you see it, and you crush it. You drive it into the ground. You end it.
Frank, I got something to say. I ain't stupid. I seen the way you walked at me as soon as I walked in here. I bet you beat down everyone that comes in here one way or another. You sit here, your big office, your big salary, your even bigger ego. But are you happy? Do you wake up every day dying to get to work because it's what you were born to do? I bet you sit here waiting for 5 o'clock to hit, waiting for the weekend, waiting for the annual holidays. I do not wait. Yeah, I fuck women for a living. But I love what I do and I do what I love. I don't care if people look down on me or want to put me behind bars. I don't care. I wake up with a smile on my face every day till I go to bed. And you say the same. You sell yourself to some prick in a bigger office. I sell myself to women who need a little bit more love in their lives. So much so that they'll go to a stranger to provide it for them. Now let me tell you something, Missy. The next time you rush to judge me for doing what I was born to do, you look in the mirror. You look in the mirror and you see who the real whore is. Frank, let's go.
I'm going to leave my card. Just in case you change your mind about the application or indeed your occupation. You give me a little tinkle and I'll come and run.
Get out!